Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Some Dumb American, and with me, as always, is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And the lovely ranting monkey is also joining us tonight. Say hi, monkey.
Hello.
Okay, so the news.
Well, that was a very enthusiastic introduction.
Wasn't that? Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to do it?
Well, before we get to the news, I just want to remind everybody that today is a very special day. You all know what today is, don't you?
Sunday?
Seriously, you don't know what May 28th is?
The 28th of May?
It's National Hamburger Day.
Ew.
National Hamburger Day is observed each year on May 28th. This day celebrates a summertime grilling favorite, and National Hamburger Day is part of National Hamburger Month. Don't you know this?
No, I don't like hamburgers.
Oh, this is why I go to nationaldaycalendar.com to learn that it's National Hamburger Day.
Thank you, Skeptic Simba. Haven't showered in 5 days.
Jesus.
All right.
Gross.
You must smell wonderful.
Oh, a little ripe.
The Jack Cochran said it's Vegan Gains Day.
It's his favorite day. Okay, well, it has been a relatively slow news day again.
Hey, wait, before you go, what was that you said?
Was what?
What website did you mention?
Oh, it's nationalcalendarday.com.
Thank you.
I believe, or nationaldaycalendar.com, one of the two. I forget which one it is. I don't actually go to there that often. I just found that out today.
People are upset that I don't like hamburgers. I'm sorry.
Why don't you like hamburgers?
I don't know. I don't really like hamburgers.
There's no ham in hamburgers.
I don't like the beef.
You said you don't. So you don't. You said you don't like the ham in hamburgers. Now you don't like the beef in
well, I don't
hamburgers.
like ham either, but
You don't like ham either? What? Is it a religious thing?
no, I just
No.
don't like it.
Okay. Are you a vegan?
No,
Do you eat meat?
occasionally.
What meat will you eat?
I'll occasionally eat pepperoni if it's like on pizza,
Oh yeah, we've had this conversation.
and sometimes I'll eat slices of turkey by themselves.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just weird.
That
Okay.
makes me sad.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. If I say I don't like a food, you should not be surprised.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
That too.
When was the last time you tried a hamburger?
I don't know. Like my mom always, like she got one last week. She had me try it.
Oh.
From where?
It was a good restaurant. They have good
Oh.
hamburgers. I just don't enjoy them.
Okay. Well, I guess there you go. So the only international news of slight note that I found at present is something our friend Angela Merkel said in
Ugh.
regards to the United States. While campaigning, Merkel says Europeans, quote, can't completely rely on U.S. and others. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said her experience at a recent international summit featuring U.S. President Donald Trump showed her Europe can't completely rely on the United States and other longstanding allies. Quote, the times when we could completely rely on others are, to an extent, over, Merkel said in a campaign event in Munich. I experienced that in the last a few days.
Are we on CNN?
We are on CNN. I don't know if this is them quoting her directly, and she made that mistake and sort of like saying or something, or CNN's just stupid. But I'm reading it as they printed it. I experienced that in the last a few days, and therefore I can only say that we Europeans must really take our fate into our own hands. Trump addressed NATO members on Thursday, pointedly instructing member nations to increase their defense spending. Then at the G7 summit on Friday and Saturday, leaders including Merkel failed to convince Trump to commit to stay in the Paris climate deal. Trump tweeted from Sicily on Saturday that he would make a final decision next week, and the U.S. took a separate stance on climate from the other nations in the official G7 communique. That's basically the bulk of the story. Which is interesting because that's kind of what Trump wanted them to do, in a sense, if you think about it. Because he's like, increase your defense spending. We shouldn't rely on others. kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how significant that is, but that was the only sort of kind of interesting international headline I saw so far today.
Can I just say, there's an evil lesbian she's a minor character in the book I'm writing, and her name's Angela. She's named after Angela Merkel because I don't like her.
Angela.
When she stops being a retard, I'll respect the pronunciation of her name.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
then
American.
never.
I'll say it how the hell I want to. It's Angela.
I'm proud to be an American, where I can pronounce things like I want. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you're with the program.
That was like today when I watched the most recent Mr. Medicare video, and he pronounced the music star Adele as Adelaide.
Yes, I saw that. I was like,
I
what
was
the
like,
fuck?
Adelaide. I was like, is that Chatelet's sister or something? Adelaide. Well, this is the same guy that for the longest time thought the word hyperbole was pronounced hyperbole.
Oh, yeah.
There's some old videos of his where he's like using the word hyperbole and he just says hyperbole, like it's the most natural thing in the world. And somebody finally corrected him. It's like, no. And for a short time, when I was originally thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I was thinking about calling myself Hyperbole and having like a bowl going through like warp space, like in Star Trek or something. But I did not do that. So anybody else who wants to become Hyperbole, if it doesn't already exist, feel free. So elsewise, every other story I could find today, and there's still some that are, but most of the stories that had headlines that jumped out at me were all bad things. People dying in skydiving accidents, or kids dying in cars because they were left in a hot car, or crazy things like that.
Aww.
So yeah, there's a lot of sad stories out today, and we'll probably get to one or two of them.
PSA, don't leave your kids in a hot car, you numbnuts.
That might be an idea. So as a result of that, potpourri today is very small. So we're going to get to viewer news here relatively quickly. So I've only have, after winnowing out all the completely depressing stories, I've got 3 stories left for potpourri. Not that much. So let's see. We have Ice Bucket Challenge.
Uh-huh.
We have What to Do in Case of a Tirade. And lastly, German Biker.
Ice bucket.
Ice Bucket. I don't know how interesting this is, but the headline caught my attention. The man behind the Ice Bucket Challenge is drowning in medical bills, which is interesting.
Okay.
The man behind the massively successful ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is facing major financial hurdles in his own fight against ALS. Pete Freites lies on life support. Oh, this is a sad story. I thought it was something else. I thought it was like, I didn't know who started this thing, so I thought it was like some just do-gooder who ends up like going broke over something. But this is not that. This is sad. And this is also one of those examples of things where, in regards to healthcare, how if there's any solution to the problem of going bankrupt over being sick, that is the problem I would like solved. I don't know how it's done. I'm not a healthcare wonk or an economy wonk or anything else. But if we could just somehow get past that hurdle in whatever we're doing, that would make me a very happy person.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean, the most effective pitch I have heard thus far is single payer. I don't know if that is the best idea or if that's the only way to do it, but anyway. Pete Freites lies on life support in the bedroom of his house, with his care costing somewhere between $85,000 and $95,000 every month. The family told CNN affiliate WBZ they are overwhelmed. Quote, any family would be broke because of this, Freites' father John told the affiliate. Freites is a former Boston College baseball player who has suffered from ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease since 2012. In 2014, he thought of an idea to raise money for the degenerative disease and ran it by a few friends. It was simple. Dump a bucket of ice cold water over your head, then challenge a friend or friends to do the same, or donate money to the ALS Association. Make a video of the whole thing and post it on your social media accounts. It caught fire in a way no one imagined. That summer, nothing rivaled the Ice Bucket Challenge in its ubiquity. More than 17 million people dumped ice water over their heads and dared their friends to do the same. Celebrities from Bill Gates to Oprah Winfrey took part. Money poured into the ALS Association in 8 weeks. It raised more than $115 million. We've never seen anything like this in the history of the disease, the association said at the time. The mounting cost of care. As Freights lay in his room, his wife and 2-year-old daughter gives him the will to keep fighting, the affiliate reported. Despite the costs, which have reached $3,000 per day, his wife says moving Pete to a facility is not an option. It's important he spend time with their little girl. Pete's life would be over, Julie Freights told WBZ. The family is now reaching out for help. And there's a link to a website that will, I guess, collect money for them. So anyway, yeah.
Now I feel bad about the joke I made. So many people got mad at me because I said, what if ice turns out to be the cause of ALS?
Jesus.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
My
I mean,
favorite ALS challenge thing I saw was Patrick Stewart's.
what do you do?
He sat there and he wrote out a check, and then he put ice into a cup of brandy and drank that.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. That's what happened to all that money. Why doesn't the ALS Foundation help people?
Well, it's into research. It's not necessarily, it's not a fund for like paying people's medical bills.
And that's a problem I have with so many of those things, is that it's great that we're funding research, but we need to fund these people too, because
well, this is
$84,000 a month.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know what the solution is, but no one should have to go bankrupt over an illness. You know, I mean, it's not a choice you made necessarily. And even if you made a mistake, like you shared a needle or something, you got hepatitis C or whatever, you know, no one asks to be terminally ill. Nobody wants to be terminally ill. Well, unless I guess there might be some people out there that love that kind of thing, because then you can be baby the rest of your life. But people going bankrupt, people like this who are just normal, everyday people, and you get struck down with something. I mean, ALS is a horrific disease.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, just as an example. I mean, there's plenty of horrific diseases out there, but that one, degenerative diseases. Yeah. So, I mean, this family's, going to go into debt. And even after the guy passes away, if nothing else is done, his family's going to be paying off that debt for years and years and years, unless or until it's either forgiven or somebody who swoops in and otherwise. And it shouldn't have to be that. We shouldn't have to rely on the possibility of charity or GoFundMes to try to bail somebody out from something that is not their fault. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know what the solution is, but that is the one thing I would like solved somehow in my lifetime, if possible. But I don't, the way our country works, the way our healthcare system works, I don't know if that's going to be a thing.
That to me is something that should be pretty easy to solve. With the way we spend money, we spend $4 trillion a year. 4 fucking trillion. We could find enough to cover catastrophic health care.
Well, that's the thing, is there's a big difference between covering everyday healthcare costs or, just maintenance healthcare costs, and then catastrophic stuff.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that. That's something that should not happen, and it really should be a pretty easily solved problem.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know when or how. I mean, if I ever ran for office, that'd be like the one thing I'd run on. I'd say, like, for the term of my office, the only thing I'm going to work on is trying to find a way to make that happen. I think more politicians should do that. Set a specific goal that they're going to fix in the short time they've got and get it done, or at least get some progress done on it anyway. I could go on. I found another story, or I should say I found another story on the recommendation of Mashisu, who is a girl. Just make sure, suggested a story that I've looked up and found, and it's a funny story. So,
hey, real quick, there's the guy that left me an angry comment is in the chat. Hi, person. I saw that. How's it going?
Oh, what was the angry comment?
Bitching about my Patreon and then told me to kill myself.
Oh.
If you donate $10,000 in the super chat, I will jump in front of a car live on stream.
I think the ceiling is $500, so you'd have to do that several times. Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Oh,
I don't want to actually kill it.
Oh, did he actually spell it all out, or did he?
Oh, no, he spelled it all out.
Oh, he spelled it all out.
So
oh,
if
wow.
he shit and dies, donates $10,000, I'll jump in front of a car.
Oh,
it has to be all in one donation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I was impressed because most people just go KYS these days instead of actually taking the time to actually
No, he took
verbalize
the
it.
time to be
No, okay, well,
to
legit.
be a little
That's
dickwad.
very angry. Are you sure this is an Assassin's Creed guy?
Oh,
It might be.
wait. If Assassin's Creed guy, you can't have them kill themselves. You have to do it to earn the. Never mind. You don't get the points for having somebody kill themselves. Assassin's Creed.
Yes, I am Cancer. I do have a Patreon to profit over the evil in the world.
Evil in the world. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have what you should do in case of a tirade. We have German biker, and now we have train station love. What do you want, SDA?
She wants a train.
Yeah.
Well, I bet she does. It's all those white guys that come over every Saturday night, right?
Stop it.
I'm glad
Okay.
you caught that.
Rude.
And again, this is from Mashitsu, sort of an injection of a viewer story into potpourri, but whatever. Woman, quote unquote, marries a train station after spending 36 years in love with it.
Married train station.
This is not Florida
36
woman.
years in love with it?
Yeah, this is not Florida woman, by the way. This is California.
Does she know that it's an inanimate object?
I guess we'll find out. Shall I read the
Okay.
story?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. You don't read anything ahead.
That's right.
I forgot.
Well,
I'm
especially this
sorry.
one. A woman has married a train station after claiming they have spent the past 36 years in love with one another. Okay.
The train station loves her back.
But it can't do that.
Hold on. Carol Santa Fe. Her name is Carol Santa Fe, 45, from San Diego, California. It'd be funny if she was actually lived in Santa Fe. Carol Santa Fe from Santa Fe.
Yeah.
From San Diego, California. Says she has been in love with this. Says she. Maybe it's true. Says she has been in love with Santa Fe train station since she was 9 years old. I wonder if she legally changed her name. That'd be funny. Let's find out. The volunteer support worker takes a 45-minute bus ride to the station every day to spend time with the building. Although their marriage is not legally binding, you think? She tied the knot with the building in 2015 and celebrated their 1-year anniversary last Christmas. The 45-year-old said she has sex with the building mentally and identifies herself as an objectum sexual, a person who is sexually attracted to inanimate objects and structures.
I'm just glad she's not actually trying to have sex with a train station.
I wonder what that looks like mentally.
I don't know.
How do you, what images run through her mind when she's...
I guess it would be easier if you had a penis because then you could literally fuck it, but I don't.
She could rub on the corner.
I guess.
Just like hump the building.
But it doesn't count unless something goes in you, right?
Okay. Carol did not discover this until she was 40 after she searched online, quote, "I am in love with a building," unquote. Gee, I'm glad that was solved. It is a worldwide debate. It is whether the phenomenon is a sexuality, fetish, or mental condition.
It's a mental condition. There's no argument.
Carol said, quote, "I am married to the Santa Fe train station. Her name is Deidre.
Oh, she's a lesbian too? Great.
Oh my God.
We didn't start a relationship until 2011, but I had been in love with the station since I was a young girl. When we got married, I stood there and told her that I take it as my partner. It was the happiest day of our lives."
But it's a fucking... Okay.
Hold on. This goes on. "I take a 45-minute bus ride every night to see the station. When I get there, I say hello to her. I then walk around the block circling around her, trying not to let anyone notice I am talking." So she can't be crazy because she knows she's crazy. You know what I mean?
Real quick. Thank you, Sanguine. And he said, don't touch the doorknobs there.
Terry gave us a donation too.
Oh, thank you, Terry. Come on. The correct term is train sexual.
Let's
It's
see.
a trainee.
Oh, God. There is a private...
Thank you, Skeptic Simba. Sorry.
That's okay.
Deidre sounds like a black name. Yes, it does.
It's Daidra, D-A-I-D-R-A, Daidra, the train station.
Mm.
It sounds like a kid show. Okay. This is her still talking. There is a private bit where the two walls meet. Oh, Jesus. I go there to touch her, which I do by leaning against her with my clothes on. When I'm touching her, I feel as though it actually holds me and kisses me.
Oh, come on.
This has got to be a joke. Okay. Oh, there's a picture of her kissing the wall. Oh, Jesus.
What does she
I'll be
look
right back.
like?
I'll
I
send.
have a question.
Yes.
Is this the type of woman who has a smush cookie or a twat?
Probably the latter.
Okay.
I'll send the link out to the chat in case people want to take a look, because there's pictures of her and the building and everything else. Where were we? Okay. I don't have physical sex with the train station in public. I want to be respectful. I wouldn't do that with a human in public, so why would I do it in this case? Makes perfect sense. I do have sex with Daedra in my mind when I stand there. I especially like when I hear the trains rev up their engines, it turns me on. What happened?
I saw the woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Ms. Slim One, thank you. I never want to go to that train station. Yeah, this is...
Neither do I. Don't click the link. You don't want to see what she looks like. She is...
God, this goes on forever.
She is unfortunate looking.
Oh,
No, don't
see
have
why she
sex
loves
with
the
your
train
toaster.
station.
Please don't have sex with your toaster.
Do you guys think that wall is naturally glossy, or do you think she did that?
No!
No. Let's see. She added, I loved a human once before. His name was Tom, and we were together for 18 months. But it didn't work out, and I felt amazing when I got into a relationship with Daedra because she told that she would never leave me. I love her so much. She is so romantic. We first consummated our love a few years ago when I felt the wall behind me and I felt this energy.
No!
I came close to an orgasm and I was scared I'd get caught by the station staff. I don't ever want the security guards to find out. I am a closeted objectum sexual. You're not closeted, lady. You're not anymore. Now that you've done this interview, if it's even real, if this is even a true thing.
Oh, no.
I'm going to stop because there's really nothing else to say. That's more than enough.
They're weird.
Oh my God. Okay. We have remaining German biker and what to do in case of a tirade.
German biker.
Okay. This is from Berlin. This is from Germany, where Angela Merkel is.
No, Angela.
Yes. German biker loses bag of cash, raining bills over Autobahn. German police say a businessman on a motorcycle lost a plastic bag stuffed with his day's earnings while driving along a southern highway, sending a shower of cash across the Bavarian Autobahn. Ingolstadt police said Sunday the 36-year-old had been carrying about 9,000 euros or $10,000 in small bills Saturday night when he lost the bag on the A9 highway.
Oof.
The man, whose name wasn't released, stopped his motorcycle and tried to collect the cash himself, and witnesses called police. Let's see. Authorities temporarily shut down the stretch of highway and helped the man collect his cash, but an estimated 1,500 euros was taken away by the wind before it could be recovered. Well, I guess you're just dumb. Don't carry around that much cash.
So I looked up I'm in Love with the Building.
Yes.
There was actually a Good Morning America story about this a while ago. The video I'm watching is from 2012.
Yes, that's when she was talking about it.
There's a chick who's in love with the Eiffel Tower. I wonder if she's ever wrote it.
They just gotten on the top and
slid down till it was gone. Sorry, I am fascinated by that people take that seriously. I thought that was a joke article when you were reading it, but
well, I thought so, maybe.
What the fuck is wrong with people? All right.
Okay, so the last story I've got before we get to viewer stuff is a CNN story. I don't know if this is funny or not, but the headline caught me. What should you do if you witness a racist or Islamophobic tirade? And this is in reference to the stabbing that took place in Oregon, I see now. This might not be funny, but I'm curious to know what CNN suggests you do if you see such a thing. It's an instinct that comes naturally to good Samaritans. When you see one stranger attacking another with racist or religious epithets, you try to protect the victim. I don't. I presume the person being talked to can defend themselves. Unless there's something else going on. Unless it's getting violent. That's just me, though. But when two men did exactly that on a Portland train, they were stabbed to death. Yeah, okay. So what is a bystander to do? Should you confront the attacker and try to de-escalate the situation, or should you avoid getting involved? I can't wait to hear what their advice is. This is a profound dilemma for the general public, said Andrew J. Scott, a retired police chief and president of AJS Consulting. That doesn't sound creepy. There's no easy answer for every situation. Then why do you have this article? Yeah, they talk about the triple stabbing, more peaceful endings. On May 22nd, a woman at an Arkansas Walmart told another customer to, quote, go back to Mexico. When a black customer told the woman to stop being ignorant, the woman started calling her the N-word. Walmart later asked the woman to stop shopping at its stores. Okay. That is definitely different than a guy wielding a knife. I won't argue that one. They're just giving examples of like times where people insulted other people. And yeah, never mind. This isn't really a story. This is just flood. This is fluff.
I have a story.
Okay.
Students protest to demand resignation of professor for opposing segregation. Sargon covered this on his This Week in Stupid. But I've seen it floating around. Students at Evergreen State College are calling for the resignation of an allegedly anti-black professor after he objected to a school-sanctioned event calling for whites to leave campus for the day. According to the college's description of the Day of Absence and Presence, the multi-day event is dedicated to address current issues surrounding race at Evergreen and beyond. The details of the Day of Absence instructs students to choose between attending events on campus reserved for people of color or to go off campus if they identify as being from a majority culture or white perspective.
Jesus Christ.
And the biology professor, Brett Weinstein, vocalized his opposition to the new Day of Absence plan in an email to the First Peoples Multicultural Advising Services Director, Rashida Love. Weinstein said his email was a formal protest of this year's structure and that he would encourage others to put phenotype aside and reject this new formulation as one's right to speak or to be must never be based on skin color. And there's a video of it. I'll just put the link in the chat. There's a video of it, but he was basically surrounded and berated by about 50 students.
That's fucking retarded.
And he also went on Tucker Carlson's show and said that the campus police tried to get to him because somebody else had called the police, and the protesters made a wall so that the police couldn't get to him to make sure that he was okay. So
Start shooting people.
Okay, so I have the first thing that comes to mind, because I've done many videos on this point, is first and foremost, Evergreen State College, as I'm looking it up now, is a public college, which means it accepts federal money, which means that it is subject to the laws of Title IX under the 1972 Education Amendments and Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which explicitly prohibits public institutions like colleges that take federal money from holding any events or offering any services that exclude people based on race, sex, gender, etc.
See, the thing about that, it seems, is that people interpret that to mean based on you being black or Mexican, not just race.
Unfortunately for them, the law does not get that granular about it. If you decide to discriminate any group based on those criterion or any particular like religion, etc., and you are taking federal money and you're using college facilities or resources, then you are violating federal law. So I hope the college gets their asses taken to court.
Same, but like I said, and I'm not disputing that or anything, but
Yeah,
I think, but I think people just have it in their heads that what that means is that you can't be mean to Black people,
right.
whereas it's actually a pretty neutral law where it's just you can't discriminate based on race.
Yes, well, it's a good thing that Evergreen State College is a liberal arts college and not a law school, or else they might know that.
Well, and the other thing is that this professor, I don't know if you noticed, but he used the term phenotype. He's a biology professor.
Of course.
But these students came to interrupt his class and to demand that he resign because he opposed them kicking white people off campus for a day. And this is not a right-wing guy either. This is a pretty hard left guy.
Well, not at Evergreen State College, for God's sakes. I mean, yeah. I've heard stories before about, I mean, you can't get much more liberal than that college, especially that part of the country.
What state is it in?
I believe Washington State, if it's Evergreen State. So, yeah, Olympia, Washington.
Right. So, you know, this is just somebody who opposes violating federal law and, you know, and they want him to resign for that. So what are you going to do, I guess?
Do you remember when Governor Wallace was racist for that kind of thinking?
Oh, Mash also brought up, thank you, Mash, that in Monday Matt's video about it, the police were told to do nothing by the head dean of the college. And the Professor Weinstein did say that in his interview with Tucker Carlson, that essentially for this whole week, those students have been pretty much running the college. And the dean has done nothing. The
inmates running the asylum, in other words.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, I used that clip from Wallace going segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever in one of my past videos where someone was basically advocating for that same thing. It's just, God.
And it's amazing to me how many people now are advocating for segregation, even like the Black-only dorms and stuff like that. It's amazing that people want that. And I can't, but then like, what if we actually did it? Do you think that then they'd have a problem with it? Because
yeah, I mean, it's like, so this reminds me, did you ever hear, it's kind of an apocryphal story now, but there was a class experiment that took place many, many years ago where a teacher was trying to teach his class about fascism. And so he kind of snuck it in. He taught them that they're going to start a new group called the Wave, I believe it was called. And they came up with a symbol. They came up with a salute. The class was part of the Wave. And without any sort of, with just a little bit of prompting on this teacher's part as a social experiment to show, you know, how fascism works, it turned into a actual fascist little microcosm in the school where they were like beating up kids who weren't part of the Wave or who wouldn't do the salute and all this other stuff. And it's like, he was like saying, no, this is how Nazism worked. It's bad. And yet you show them this and they think it's good. And I don't understand what they're trying to do. It's like, okay, you want to be segregated. You want there to be separate spaces for people based on race. You want people to discriminate on skin color, which is the exact opposite of what all of those laws and all of what you're supposedly asking for in life and what everybody, I mean, Martin Luther King's little speech, you know, content of your character, not color of your skin, that, as far as I'm concerned, that's right up there with do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah.
It's as ubiquitous a principle of a civilized society as you can imagine. And yet, here we are in the future without a moon base, where they're asking us to go back to 1930s, 40s, 50s type mentality, and even before then, regarding splitting people up based on, arbitrary factors.
This is something, because we've actually talked about this in several of my sociology classes, and the Black kids always say, well, we have a separate culture. So we want to be separate, you know, for our culture. And it's interesting because they do have this mindset that they are a completely different part of society within society. And I think maybe that's why they don't see it that way. like why they don't see it as actual segregation. I don't know.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's ridiculous that we've come this far, and then this is supposed to be social justice, is where we just go back 100 years and call it a day.
Thank you, Adam.
Here's to the start of a good night. Thank you very much. So we have viewer stuff in the hashtag MSS News. Remember, if you guys want us to cover something, if there's a story you want us to cover, tweet it to us and put it under the hashtag MSS News, and we might just cover it.
If you keep running your stream, I'm going to have nothing to do.
If I keep running, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you, Skeptic Simba. SJWs are America racist. They are, and they've been doing it since they started their PC bullshit.
Yeah, take us back in time. So the first story we have, well, it's the link in the hashtag is from 1 Ton Hammer. It's for a video, but I'm going to read an article about the same story. And yeah, it's not happy news, but it is something that has happened the other day. 8 dead in shooting rampage in Mississippi. Suspect is arrested, which honestly, these days when these kind of things happen, if a suspect's arrested, I'm amazed. Brookhaven, Mississippi, a man who apparently got into a dispute with his wife and in-laws was arrested in a house-to-house shooting rampage in rural Mississippi that left 8 people dead, including a sheriff's deputy. Quote, I ain't fit to live, not after what I done, a handcuffed Willie Corey Godbolt, 35, told the Clarion Ledger. The shootings took place at 3 homes Saturday night, 2 in Brookhaven and 1 in Bogue Chitto, about 70 miles south of Jackson, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said. The rampage began after authorities got a call about a domestic dispute. The dead included 2 boys, and Godbolt was being treated for a gunshot wound at a hospital, authorities said. They did not say how he was wounded. They don't say the rest of the victims. Okay.
That's just all very sad.
Yeah. Nutbag doing something horrible, and it sucks. Now, this is a story from Jack Cochran that honestly I wish I'd found, because it's just the headline alone is both hilarious and disturbing at the same time. Power Rangers star targeted in murder plot at Phoenix Comic-Con. Yeah.
What?
Original Power Rangers star Jason David Frank has had a bit of a close shave as a lone gunman headed to Phoenix Comic-Con with the intention of killing him.
Well, that's rude.
A heavily armed man identified as 31-year-old Matthew Sterling arrived at the convention on Thursday claiming to be the Punisher. Okay, I already hate this guy.
Scribe.
I hate this guy already. With a plan to kill numerous, quote, bad cops, as well as the original Green Ranger who was appearing at the Comic-Con. Thankfully, he was picked up by police before anyone was hurt. Thank goodness. According to a police statement, the would-be attacker has since been charged with attempted murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, wearing body armor during the commission of a felony, resisting arrest, and carrying a weapon in a prohibited place. And the picture of him, holy cow, that is the epitome of the crazy basement-dwelling neckbeard, I gotta say. He looks like he looks like a cliche.
Can I see it?
Yeah, I'll post the link in the chat. Because this is this guy is a visual cliche.
Why the hell was he mad at the Green Ranger?
Let's see. Court records reveal that Matthew Sterling was carrying 2 .45 caliber handguns, a .454 caliber handgun, a 12-gauge shotgun, a combat knife, pepper spray, and throwing stars at the time of his arrest.
Of course he had throwing stars. That's great.
But why did he want to kill the Green Ranger? It's unclear why Sterling took umbrage against Jason David Frank, despite his claims that he previously stabbed the Green Ranger in a separate altercation. Those claims seem to be entirely fabricated. Quote, I don't know this individual, but I will pray for him, said Frank in an interview with Fox News, adding that the alleged stabbing never took place. Quote, I think if you mention stabbed, and I haven't been stabbed, the story speaks for itself. According to Maricopa County Deputy Attorney Ed Leiter, the man was also planning to attack a number of other individuals whose identities have not been released. Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm glad that was averted, and that guy is not only is an asshole for what he's planning to do, but that he would take the name The Punisher in the process of doing it.
Well, that's just the worst part.
That makes me the most mad.
He doesn't even look like the Punisher.
No, he doesn't. He looks like
a fat bastard.
He looks like the fat guy from Lost.
Oh, yeah, Hurley.
Yeah, that guy, who I guess is like lost 1 million pounds now and looks like a svelte athlete or something. Good for him.
Does he really?
That's what I read somewhere, is like he was one of those guys that went from where he was on that show to now being sort of like thin as hell or something.
Real quick, somebody asked us to go over the burrito story, which we did cover the other day, but
Yes.
just to recap, some girls, where's that? Portland, Oregon?
I believe so, yes.
They'd gone down to Mexico. They didn't go down there to learn about making tortillas, but once they got down there, they fell in love with them, decided to learn how to make them. They got recipes, but never the actual way you cook it. Came back home, figured out how to make them themselves, started a business, and some horrible social justice warriors put them out of business, calling it cultural appropriation. It's a bunch of bullshit, and I hope bad things happen to the people that got them shut down.
Let's see. The next one's from the Jack Cochran as well. This is from the Kansas City Star. University.
Put him on staff soon.
I know. Pretty at this point, it should be like the Jack Cochran hour. University of Missouri struggles to rebuild image after hits to its reputation and enrollment. Imagine that. Columbia. Dennis Jones recalls the not long ago days when racially charged protests consumed the University of Missouri, when friends and family in his hometown of Dallas would call and ask, "How bad is it?" for him as a black man on campus. Quote, absolutely, the reputation was harmed a bit, the second-year law student said. Since the events of 2015, which included the toppling of 2 top administrators, he gives MU high marks for dealing more forthrightly with racial issues. But, Jones said, it's going to take time for the image to change. It changed real quick. That's why the school's doing so poorly now. That's just my little commentary. Now, with state funding trimmed by a conservative legislature and even fewer high school graduates headed to Columbia, the school is laying off people even as it pours money into promotion and reputation repair like never before. This is the worst enrollment performance of any flagship university in the country. That cannot continue, Republican Governor Ed Greitens said in a statement last week. The University of Missouri has lacked strong leadership for far too long. I will not disagree with that when the top administrators capitulated to demands by a bunch of whining crybabies and quit.
Is this Mizzou?
This is Mizzou. Yes.
Yeah. If you want to get into somewhere really easy, apply to Mizzou.
Well, here's the thing. This is almost like a textbook case of not learning from what happened or repeating history here we go. Anyway, I'm missing out on my metaphors here. MU's bosses now need to appeal to prospective students of color after racist incidents.
No.
I don't know.
That's
Evidence.
the exact opposite.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. Evidence of widespread problems or isolated incidents, depending on who's telling the story. Right. White kids. No.
Let's stop right there.
Yes.
Because even their widespread problems amounted to 3 issues.
Yes.
2 of which, for those of you who don't know what started all of that, the very wealthy black kid who was the center of all of this,
Jonathan Butler,
said that some guys driving down the street.
For a black guy. What? Sorry.
No, you're fine. Some guys driving down the street yelled "nigger" at him. No telling that they actually went to the school. I can't believe you said
the N-word out loud on my channel.
You're not getting monetization anyway with your title. And then there was supposedly another incident where there were 5 or 6 black kids standing around, and this guy comes up to him very angrily, this white guy yelling at him, and as he was leaving, he called them nigger. Nobody had a cell phone in this incident, in this instance, which is really weird for 2015. So nobody caught it on camera. And then supposedly somebody drew a swastika in a bathroom or something like that.
That's the poop swastika.
Yeah, the poop swastika. Yeah.
That's the widespread problems they're talking about.
And was that even shown to be a hoax or no?
I don't know that they ever proved where it came from.
But that's not why people aren't enrolling.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Can they please hire an outside consultant to break this down? I'll go to Missouri and try to explain it to you.
Yeah, it wasn't the incidents. It was how the school or the school reacted to a bunch of crybaby students making it into an erupting volcano out of a molehill.
Yeah.
And some of their staff.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly. What Melissa Click,
Yes.
the famous Melissa Click, where she's like ordering
Right,
press
she's a
off of
cow.
ordering press off the premises because they're not allowed to be there in a public space. This is
I need
supposed to be a
muscle
safe
over
space.
here.
I need muscle.
She
Yeah.
needs some muscle over here. Yeah.
Let's see.
Ginger
White.
cunt.
Just to finish up, white kids may be reluctant to step into a place marked by fresh, if fading, racial controversy. Their parents, said people on and off campus, might resent university brass who think caved to black athletes, which they did. The day the football team threatened to skip a game scheduled for Arrowhead Stadium, the culmination of months, even generations, of simmering racial resentment at MU, virtually guaranteed the heads of university brass would roll. If you put that much power into the team to decide how the university is run, you should not have your job. That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
You were not there to cater to children's tantrums and demands.
Well, yeah,
you were there
at the
to run
end
a
of
university.
the day, a lot of those people who are on that team are still, like, they're just students.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are not much older than I am. And when a bunch of unloved millennials throw a fit, you don't just let them do whatever they want. It's bad parenting, Mizzou.
So this goes on for quite a while. Do you want me to continue, or?
I mean, I think we get the picture, unless Monkey thinks it, or you, I don't know.
Mm.
No, this is a pretty long one. I think we can skip most of it because it's basically, they haven't learned their lesson and they're paying for it.
Yeah, and then
sorry. Go ahead.
That's your channel. Go ahead.
Oh, I noticed that I got a donation from Sanguine. Thank you, Sanguine. Well, shooting ourselves in the foot didn't work. How do we fix this? Shoot the other foot. Brilliant. Yeah,
exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Summed it up very clearly. Let's see. So the next one, of course, comes from Jack Cochran. He's just staff reporter, Jack Cochran.
Yeah. Thank you.
That
unpaid staff reporter.
Yeah, unpaid staff reporter, Jack Cochran. I'm sure there's a short version of that we can come up with. This is from the Roanoke Times.
He's our intern, Jack.
Yeah, I don't want him giving me a blowjob in the Oval Office. Thank you. I like staff reporter.
Okay, fine.
Okay. I'm just saying. Yeah. Sit out. Can I start this story?
Are we done handing out blowjobs?
Handing out blowjobs. Do you know how blowjobs work?
I'm not handing out blowjobs.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? No, you're just handing out Assassin's Creed. Okay, sit out opposes set of stairs on Virginia Tech campus.
What?
And there's no story. There's no text underneath this.
If you click on
they're mad at stairs?
Okay, hold on. There it is. Never mind. Yeah, I did. I got it. Okay. Want to get to the upper quad on Virginia Tech's campus from Torgerson Hall or the drill field? There's a new 20-step staircase between New Cadet Hall and Major Williams Hall that cuts time after the staircase had been closed during the construction of the cadets' new dorm. It's easy, unless, that is, you have a disability that prevents you from taking stairs. Oh my God. Thursday afternoon, everyone on campus had to take the longer route. That was because of a sit-out event organized by members of Tech's Disability Alliance and Caucus. Okay, an advocacy group for disabled people on campus. About 60 people occupied the stairs and asked students, faculty, and staff to take the ADA route to experience life on campus as someone with a disability. Except they don't have a disability if they're having to walk in that way. We want people to ask themselves what happens when you can't use the stairs. You walk around?
Use an elevator and don't use your legs.
Yeah. Is this violating the ADA in any way? Is it just a staircase? Yeah. They have there's an ADA route.
Yeah, so there's probably an elevator somewhere or a ramp or whatever.
So because this
it just
one
takes a little longer to get there.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, there's not much more to say about this except that people are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, like, do you want a really steep ramp or something right where the stairs are? Is that
yeah. A parallel ramp, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe?
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Maybe it would be a fun slide for everybody else, but I think you'd still have the basic issue.
Okay. Staff reporter Jack Cochran also has for us Yale honors students who led witch hunt against professors who defended Halloween costumes.
Ooh, I remember this guy.
Okay, this is just from the other day. A new class of social justice warriors is graduating from Yale, and to celebrate, the university honored 2 students who led a Halloween witch hunt, funny, against Administrator Erica Christakis in fall 2015. Okay,
Why are
2
they
years after the
honoring
fact.
her?
If you recall, Christakis had sent students an email defending free speech and asking, quote, is there no room anymore for a child or young person to be a little bit obnoxious, a little bit inappropriate or provocative, or, yes, offensive, unquote. In response, students vehemently protested, accusing Christakis of racism and cultural insensitivity. When Christakis' husband, Nicholas, a professor at Yale, defended her, students shouted him down, screaming at him that he was disgusting and demanding that he and his wife resign. Both ended up leaving their Yale administrative roles that spring. Ms. Christakis also left her teaching role while her husband continued on as an endowed professor. Now, Yale has awarded its Nakanishi Prize, given for academic achievement and racial activism. Racial activism. Let me say that again. Activism predicated on race. Okay, to Alexandra Zena Barlow and Abdul Razak Zakaria, graduating seniors who were, quote, 2 of Yale's most prominent Christakis critics, the Wall Street Journal's James Freeman reports.
Is this one of the girls that was screaming?
I don't think so.
To be at home here.
No, the picture they show does not. I remember I remember what the girl looked like that was screaming at him, and that is not the person in the picture here. So
okay.
Now, let's see, in an interview with Democracy Now, Barlow said Christakis' email was, quote, not just discomforting and upsetting, but actually really deeply harmful and actually creating a safe space for violence to happen on campus. Are you kidding me?
Because someone might wear a ripped up poncho and a fake donkey, and their friend might be a border patrol officer. That would be funny.
Honoring Barlow, Yale quoted classmates who commended the student activist for a, quote, moral imagination that...
I'll give him that.
Yeah, imagination is true. Operates with the knowledge that issues of race, class, gender, sexuality, etc. are all interconnected.
Intersectional?
Interconnected. Aww. And I'm sorry, Heat Street, you forgot to put in close quotes on that. So you're not quite CNN, but you know, if you don't cite your quotes correctly, you are plagiarists.
That's right.
Zachariah also received praise for his student activism. Sorry, no, not student activism, guys. Racial activism. In addition to denouncing Christakis, he also pushed for Yale to stop using the title master for some administrators, saying it made him, quote, extremely uncomfortable. Well, Zachariah said that when he used the title on campus, quote, I kept thinking I was degrading myself. You kept thinking that you were degrading yourself. That sounds like a personal problem, not someone else's.
Or like fun. What? Anyway.
Nicholas Christakis, it's almost done. Nicholas Christakis had been master of Yale's Silliman College, a kind of glorified dorm, okay, when he was attacked. The master is a coveted and prestigious role for a tenured professor involving lavish on-campus housing and other prerequisites. Other prerequisites? That's not the word you use.
Interesting phrase.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Anyway, last year, Yale caved to protesters such as Zachariah and changed the master title to head of college.
They should have changed it to honky.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is hurting my brain.
Do we want to jump into YouTube now?
Sure. We got other stories, but yeah.
Well, we're at the top of the hour, so.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. So
right,
what's
Monkey,
going on YouTube?
I think you're the only one who put up the video today.
I did. I responded to Riley Dennis's new video where Riley Dennis tells us all about poor people.
And tell us about Riley Dennis telling us about poor people.
Riley Dennis doesn't understand how poor people work. He doesn't understand how much works. I mean, we all know he doesn't get the whole gay thing. He actually says that poor is just a matter of paycheck, which is not true. A lot of people could be well above their station in life if they just fucking took care of their money better.
Yeah.
One of the things Riley says is that poor people deserve to have nice things. And I don't think poor people shouldn't have nice things, but that word deserve is wrong. It's part of the entitlement that is increasingly seeping in. And again, I blame the way kids are being raised today, because he actually talks about how cell phones are necessary to life. They're helpful, but they are not in any way necessary.
Mhm.
Don't care what you guys say. They're not.
You don't need a smartphone.
No, you don't. And some people, well, you have to apply for jobs online. Every library across the fucking country has internet access you can use for free. But the whole thing is just one big entitlement. And I have trouble with that thinking, this idea that you are just entitled to a good life. You're not. That's not how life works. And treating people like, the one part that really, really pissed me off is he's talking about how government employees get paid. So why are people upset when paid
Because
by the
government
government?
employees have jobs. Duh.
Government employees are getting paid. People who are getting welfare are getting charity. That's not a mean thing to say. That's what it is. It is a government handout. It is not pay. And I believe in a safety net. I believe there should be something there for people who need it. But it's there as a safety net. It's not there as a luxury housing.
Right.
I worked way too long at Walmart to believe this stuff of every poor person manages their money really, really well. They really,
No, they
really
do
fucking
not.
If you want to see how bad poor people are with money, wait till tax time and go to Walmart and see how many video games and giant televisions.
Well, this is the thing. This is one of the things that bothered me about that video, was where he said, so what if a poor person wants to buy themselves a video game or something? If you can't pay the bills, the last thing on your mind should be video games.
Yeah. Well, he makes it sound like there's nothing else you can do, because at one point he actually says that, sometimes they deserve time to themselves and quiet, after he just explained all this stuff that they needed, like going out with friends on the weekend and going to McDonald's after work and buying your video games and your internet stuff. The easiest way to be alone with yourself? Don't have any of that shit. You'll be alone with yourself. And you can find ways to keep yourself entertained cheaply. But again, my problem isn't with people spending their money like that. My problem is spending their money like that and then bitching that they don't have enough money. If you get, say, $500 in food stamps, you can spend that however you want. I don't care. Buy whatever food you want. But if that food doesn't last you to the end of the month, that's not my fault. That doesn't mean we have a real problem. We really, really do in this country, of people living well above their means. Instead of cutting back, saving your money. The reason rich people, when they first are starting out, end up rich, most of them, is because they save their fucking money.
Yeah.
They don't spend it. They're very cheap.
That reminds me of a story that happened, just as the housing crisis was really hitting and all the downturn and everything. There was a story on CNN. It's burned in my memory. It was this. It was a poor me story about a woman who was losing her house. It was a $1 million home, and she had 2 kids or whatever. And the story said, she had just bought this house because she had just gotten a $900,000 a year job 4 months prior to the sudden drop. And I'm thinking, okay, if you get a job that pays you $900,000 a year, that doesn't mean you have $900,000.
No.
The fuck are you doing buying $1 million house on spec? It's stupid. And so this story was trying to play it off as, oh, she's a victim of all this other stuff. It was like, well,
No.
I'll admit her job, her employment is a victim of the current crisis. That is true. Her financial situation is her own fault. There's a very famous little book, and I got it as a gift for after I graduated from college, and I recommend anybody who is either just starting out in life or just in general. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's basically like Confucius type stuff for gaining and keeping wealth. And one of the first cardinal rules that book tells you to do is do not buy what you cannot afford. Period.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you follow that, even if you do nothing else, if you just follow that advice in life, you'll be a hell of a lot better off. This is why I eschew credit cards. I've never had a credit card. I've stayed away from that. So anyway.
Well, doesn't this kind of remind you of the whole YouTube adpocalypse?
Mm-hmm.
So many people, I mean, it was great that you were making that money, but you still need to save that money.
I mean,
I saw so many people who, I'm not going to be able to make my rent this month. The first month it happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Well, I mean, I'm really bad about it because I won't spend money on anything unless I absolutely need it. And like getting me to buy something for myself is just ridiculous. So I can't imagine if you actually have bills to pay, why would you be buying yourself a video game? Don't you have bills to pay?
Well, it's kind of what Riley talked about in there.
I mean,
this idea that you should be able to do whatever you want.
No, if you have extra spending money for video games, maybe you don't need assistance.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to question it. Riley talked about how when they were when food stamps and stuff. Well, he didn't talk about this. I looked that up. Sorry, but he starts out talking about how some people want to limit food stamps, so you can't have soda, you can't have, or people bitch that people have steak and lobster. I can't tell you how many times working at Walmart, in the break room, somebody would come in just fuming mad because they just checked out somebody who bought like steaks and just the most expensive shit they could and paid with a bridge card. And that person made too much money for any kind of assistance. So they were going home that night to have like beans and rice. It is amazing how that money is spent if you actually go watch.
Yeah, because I've gotten into arguments with people about this where you'll say something like that and they'll be like, no, poor people would never, somebody on welfare would never do something like that. As if you're on welfare, it means that you're an angel and you can do no wrong.
Or if you're on welfare, you're somehow a financial genius.
Right. I mean, that's not to say that there aren't people who are just genuinely
in bad straits.
In bad straits, but people who are on welfare for years and years, believe me, they know how to work the system. And that's all they're ever going to do because, why work at Walmart 40, 50, 60 hours a week, maybe more, or work 3 jobs when you can just be on welfare and get a prime rib?
I was actually told, I've told you guys before, I used to argue on the Bill Maher message boards. I said, when I was growing up, I remember hearing stories of people who would work 2 or 3 jobs, and I was called racist for that. Like, no, people used to say, I need to take care of my business. But somebody just said they don't have a problem with steak, but lobster, come on. I don't really have a problem with steak either, as long as you can make it through the month with what you have.
Yeah.
If you can budget it out so you have food all month and you can afford that steak, more power to you. But don't sit here and tell me you're taking government money, which comes from the people. You're taking that money from other people and giving it to the folks who need it, and then say that we can't put any kind of limitations on that. Because as I pointed out in the video, any money I make at my job is reliant on me actually doing my job.
Right.
There's a string attached to it.
Yeah.
It's not like I just walk in there and they're, well, here's your money. You still have to do a job. And so, especially like with here where we live, they tried banning soda from bridge cards and people lost their goddamn minds.
Do you have a problem with that?
With soda?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with them banning it, but I have the same take on it as I do with steak. I mean, if you can afford it and still budget properly, more power to you. The only problem I have is that I live in a state where there's a bottle return.
Okay.
That you pay deposit and it's 10 cents, and then you get that 10 cents back when you return it. And even if you bought it on food stamps, nobody pays attention, so you just get the cash back. So
Oh.
I've seen people 24-pack of Mountain Dew, go dump it out in the parking lot and bring it right back in so they could get the cash. And I've seen this on more than one occasion.
So yeah, I can see them doing that regionally. Like, I don't know, I can see them doing it where maybe they have people vote like during the elections and just say, do you want your welfare money spent on this? Or I don't know. I can see them doing that.
Well, I just, there's no nutritional value in soda. There's just not. There's no reason people have to have it, but we have mistaken luxury for necessity.
But if you can buy soda on your own, then great. But if you
Yeah.
need to use other people, I don't know. It's just.
Jenny says, I don't think it's fair we have to work our whole lives and pay taxes and not be taken care of the government if we need it. If you need it, that's fine. I believe in a safety net, but it's a net, not a hammock. Get your ass out of it when you can.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too is that when people abuse the system, you just make it worse for the people who do genuinely need it.
Well, and there's bridge cards have helped cut down on this, but if you go back to food stamps, there was also a black market on that.
Oh yeah.
Selling for like 50 cents on the dollar.
Yep, because you get them for free and you can sell them for a profit, pretty much.
You end up making less money because if you would have just went out and bought your own damn food, you'd been fine. But yeah, they were getting money for it, and
well, the way that people were doing it was they had ways of making money, but it was in like sort of like a roundabout way, so they could still apply for benefits. So
because you don't.
So they'd be getting food stamps that they didn't need, and then selling them on the black market.
Well, there were people who needed the food stamps and were selling them.
Yeah, that's true too. But I'm just saying there were also more sophisticated operations as well.
You can't buy cigarettes, you can't buy alcohol. So, I mean, people want those things. How do you do it? Well, sell it for 50 cents on the dollar. You didn't work for that money anyway. Nobody would do that with their paycheck. Nobody would go, you know what? I'll give you $50. You give me 25 back.
Right.
Because you worked for that. Yeah. Anyway, that was what my video was about. Riley's an idiot, and it was fun though, because he's such an easy target because he's a moron.
Somebody asked if we knew about, or they added me specifically, but if we know about what's happening with Nightmare Fuel and somebody else.
I do. I watched those videos today. It's between Nightmare Fuel and Mr. Dapperton.
So maybe you can explain it to us.
Sure. I don't know how Mr. Dapperton got a hold of it, but he got a hold of DMs between Nightmare Fuel and some girl who's apparently only 15 years old. And he's basically hitting on the girl. Now,
how old is he?
I haven't seen an exact age. In Dapperton's video, he says he's been told anywhere from 18 to 21.
If he's 18,
he's still hitting on a 15-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
It's a little creepy. He goes to great lengths to make sure he doesn't say pedo. He just calls him a predator. But he made his first video, and AIU made a response to it saying that the DMs were faked, or that Mr. Dapperton had been the supposed girl. And they bounce back and forth. There's like, I think Dapperton's done 3 videos on it now. I haven't watched all of the third one, but yeah, basically he's just pointing out that he's hitting on a 15-year-old girl. Thinks it's kind of creepy. And if it's true, it's kind of creepy. But I can't independently verify any of that, so this is all just...
Has Nightmare Fuel said anything about it, or?
Well, there's an exchange in, I want to say it's the 3rd video, because I did start watching it, where Dapperton and Nightmare Fuel are having a back and forth. It's more DMs. And Dapperton asks him, so you're saying these are fake? And Nightmare Fuel says, no, 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 I'm not saying that. He doesn't say they're real, but he doesn't say that they're fake either. He stops him
Okay,
from
that's
saying they're fake.
weird.
Yeah, it's a weird story.
Someone said he's a pedo. Look, if this guy is like, if I at least I don't know how old he is. If he's 18 and he's hitting on a 15-year-old, that's not like so crazy. You shouldn't do it, especially if you're a public figure, because like she's still 15. But that's not insane, and he's also not a pedophile.
Yeah, it's not pedophilia. It's just creepy.
Yeah.
And if he's 21, that's getting
Yeah,
into illegal
like I
territory. Stay
said,
the fuck
the
back.
difference between him being 18, him possibly being 18 and 21 is huge. But yeah.
Linthair says, oh, thank you for the donation. To be fair, people around 18 to 20 have mostly only dealt with girls that age. Weird transition time. Well, they've also dealt with girls who are 18 to 20. Hit on them. There's a lot of them out there. And even if I don't know what countries all of this is happening in or what states, so maybe it's even legal depending on his age. It's still creepy. Don't try to fuck your fans, okay? Just don't. That's a good rule to live by. You're not a rock star. You're somebody who's going to end up losing your YouTube fame over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody doxed Dapperton over it, one of Nightmare Fuel's fans. So it's some weird shit. Jim Heelis asks, what if your fan is a midget? Oh, you don't, that's that
Is it a midget of legal consent?
okay, yeah, that would be but no, you still don't try to fuck your fans.
I don't know.
Somebody said no Dap was doxxed ages ago. Whoever did it didn't know that. They actually threatened him repeatedly to either take it down or they would do it. So Ranting Monkey, I'm 16 years old and dating I'm dating a 16-year-old and I'm 18. If you've known each other for a while, like you grew up together, fine. And even if you haven't, if it's legal in your state, more power to you. What if it's a building fan, Sean Lee?
No.
Don't try to fuck your building fans either.
Yeah, what if it's a windmill?
Ow.
If it's a windmill, is that okay? Because it's a fan.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
Math Queen.
I had to explain it.
I think this was around that. I think she actually hopped into a stream with us around kind of the whole Milo fiasco.
Okay.
And so she said, it reminded me of your story and I wanted your thoughts on it.
As I said, then the adult in the situation is the one that's supposed to say no. Nothing wrong, but he's an adult. He should know better.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I said about my situation. She was an adult. She should have known better.
Anyway, anything else funky going on around YouTube? I mean, I guess we talked about this privately, but I guess have we publicly addressed the whole V thing?
Oh no, there's some besides V's making fun of Russian Deadpool. Beef going on with Spino.
All right.
His girlfriend.
Describe, is he roboting for you too?
Yep.
Am I roboting?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, guys. Well, tell the story if I'm roboting.
I don't know it.
Okay, I'll try again. Let me know if I robot again.
Okay.
A response video to Spino, and in it he mentioned where Spino's girlfriend lives.
Roboting.
Oh, right. So V said that this is where V said that Spino's girlfriend, I still can't believe he has a girlfriend. Anyway, lives in Qatar. And what, Tyler Preston lost his shit over that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because somehow that's doxing, because Qatar is such a tiny little place that clearly saying it doxes somebody. Okay. there anything
Well-
else to it, or is that just
Well, if I'm not roboting here, if I am, let me know. I'll just drop and come back. But
okay?
it's not just Tyler. Tyler's just the one who's making the biggest stink about it on Twitter right now.
Okay,
But there's a whole bunch of people upset about it because it's doxing. Like, that's not
but
fucking
but
doxing.
it's not doxing.
No, it's not.
I thought it was well known. I guess I don't know. I've seen people say that it was well known that he had a thing in the something in the Middle East or whatever. I thought people knew that, from what I understand.
Neon asks, is this what you, Scribe, and Monkey do all day? Just scour the internet and find stuff to talk about? When
I
I'm
don't-
on,
No.
Well,
when I'm on, if I
news-wise,
see
sort of.
something, if I'm on and I see something interesting, I try to remember it for the chat, but it's not like I go out of my way for it.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody here scours anything, it's probably me because I end up collecting most of the immediate stories, and I just look for things that are either big news stories of the day, and then I look for like little minor stories that hopefully are at least interesting or funny if I can find those kind of things. But our viewers have been so diligent, especially staff reporter Jack Cochran. I think that's a great way to say this. It's a great title.
Yes.
This sounds really nice. Rolls off the tongue very well. I don't know if Jack Cochran rolls off the tongue very well. That's another question. I felt like I just did a Groucho Marx there. Anyway, yeah, but everybody's been sending us so many stories lately that I have to do much less work than I did just a couple of weeks ago as far as collecting stories and keeping news hour populated. But after that, it's kind of like, what YouTube stuff are we working on, or what YouTube dramas are happening that are immediate kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, Ask Yourself wants to debate me.
Is that Vegan Gaines' friend?
Yeah, that's Vegan Gains bottom bitch.
I don't know what Ask Yourself does. What's his
he's the one he's really stuck on this. Why wouldn't you stab a retarded person if you'd eat a cow?
Oh my God! Still, I'm done with that.
No, I mean, is he a vegan too? Is that his is he a
yes, he's a vegan.
He's a guy. He's a YouTube guy.
Vegan, yeah, YouTuber who likes to play videos of animals being tortured because he hates that kind of stuff, so he watches it constantly.
Yeah.
Debate
you about what? Or as he said,
I don't know.
Who would you want?
I really don't.
Could I moderate? Could I moderate?
Ooh, yeah, let's try moderate.
I'd be totally impartial.
He's
totally impartial. No, I mean, I wouldn't even know what to say because I know. Imagine my thumb and forefinger very close to each other. I know this much about veganism as being separated to just being a vegetarian, and I wouldn't know anything about it. So
I mean, I don't know. I could moderate. I was a vegan.
Yeah, I'd set the time limits and everything just to make sure it was moderated. I wouldn't like interject or anything.
So I mean, I understand all the vegan stuff pretty well.
Skeptic Simba wants you to do it.
And if Skeptic Simba says it,
I know, right?
I mean, he's donated quite a bit to this stream, so it's sponsored as well.
Yeah, sponsored
what
debate.
Are you thinking, Monkey?
I don't see a reason why I wouldn't. I just don't think it'll have. I mean, if we can work out a time, sure, I'll argue with an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I think
wouldn't even be the first time.
Sorry.
I said, wouldn't even be the first time with this idiot.
That argument is just the weirdest thing.
The thinking behind it is flawed, is the problem. Because they keep trying to reduce humans to the levels of cows.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to do. And you can actually do that with anything. Literally, there are people who are brain dead who are still alive, technically.
Yeah.
But they have no sentience. They're gone. By their own logic there, they shouldn't be able to eat lettuce or celery or any of their other shit. Because at that point, it has the exact same mental capacity as that guy. So if you're not willing to eat that guy, you shouldn't be willing to eat lettuce.
That's not how humans work.
I'm aware that's not how humans work, but that's
I'm
their.
not. I'm sorry. I need to like tell you. It's just.
It's a horribly flawed argument that makes sense to people who are looking for a reason to make this some moral debate.
Terry in the chat suggested that we get Teal Deer to moderate.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, you
Anything else going on with YouTube? Scribe, are you working on you working on anything?
First, thank you, Studwelm, implying you have no investment in your own species. All right. Do I have anything? I actually don't have anything I'm working on at present. In fact, what I was trying to do today is try to come up with something to do for my other channel, because I have, in my brain, I've kind of run my course, it feels like, for what I'd have to say about BDSM that isn't either. Oh, Skeptic Simba says, if you debate, ask yourself, I will nut without a condom.
Okay then.
Can you only usually nut with a condom? That's a weird fetish. Do you get like a silicone fetish? Silicone fetish. Yeah, sand. Oh, sand, it's so coarse. No, I keep trying to come up with something new for my other channel, but short of like describing very explicit things and not just being sort of, I don't know, referential or advice type stuff, I'm running a blank lately. And so I tried looking up on YouTube. I just started looking up like videos on BDSM to see if there was something I could critique. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to turn my BDSM channel into Scribe Light 2. You know, it's like critiquing other people's BDSM practices or something. I mean, if I saw something where someone was saying, you know, this is how you do X, Y, and Z, and it would be something that was demonstrably unhealthy or dangerous or something, I might say something. But I'd probably do that on my regular channel rather than the other one. So,
you know what you should do? And this isn't something you have to do, but this would be really cool. You should reach out to Lacey Green on that.
On BDSM?
Yeah. She does all sex stuff. Reach out and see if she'd want to work on something with you. Maybe she has an idea you could steal.
I don't even know what that would look like. I know very little about what Lacey Green does in her regular videos. Most of the Lacey Green material I've ever seen has been other people critiquing the occasional video of hers. So I know about Brawless. I know that's all like about sex and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Brawless was more social justice stuff.
Oh yeah, no, on her channel. I mean, on the Lacey Green channel.
Oh.
Brawless was different. Brawless was an MTV thing.
Does she do? Does she do stuff with people who are faceless?
I don't know. That's why I said reach out.
Okay. Then.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she'll let you beat her on stream.
If that happened, I would have 1 million subscribers in about a day.
See, I'm trying to help you out. What non-author dark is the name of your?
Yes,
channel, right?
Yeah. It was the clever opposite of Scribe Light is non-author dark, and right now there's just some sort of educational-ish videos or advice videos or stream of consciousness type stuff. I tried doing here's how you can make your own homemade cane for spanking and such, which is a very simple process. As an experiment of, could I actually do a how-to guide through one of these videos? There's only so many of those things you could easily do as a sort of flat video that I'm not actually filming something happening. So,
well, have you done one that talks about like how to bring it up with a potential partner, or how to set boundaries?
Setting boundaries, yes. How to bring it up with a potential partner. I have not done anything on that specifically, so that is an idea. I can think about that one.
And I just linked your other channel in the chat because it is kind of hard to find, guys. YouTube is weird. Skeptic Simba, I like my women beat like my meat. Thank you for that.
Yes, I often flog the bishop, as it were. But other than that, I haven't actually found anything the last day or two. I was looking at some I was just noticing something. So I have some usual suspects I usually go to if I'm looking for something to critique, or on the off chance that something interests me. And so like you'll see on occasion like snarl.com or Islamic Pulse or these sort of guys. And I've noticed that Mike.com hasn't posted anything in like weeks. And neither has Mogul. And like some of the usual things that I go to, it's like they're really quiet lately. And I found that interesting. I don't know if that means anything. It's just kind of odd since usually so outspoken usually.
Well, I've noticed with like Fusion, they tend to go in cycles. They'll wait a week or two and suddenly drop you 10 videos that are all shit. But
10 videos that most of them are like a minute and a half long with just like title cards and no audio or no commentary.
Are we? Oh yes, Copper Cab is back. Do you guys watch Copper Cab?
Long time ago. I haven't recently.
I mean, I know that he's a thing. Thank you, MASH. Replace vegan gains steroids with estrogen.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
That'd be funny.
They're vitamins.
Yes, vitamins.
Vitamins.
Monkey knows all about vitamins.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Copper Cab's recent stuff, he did one where he took questions from his audience and the response was just awesome.
What kind of content does he even make?
He vlogs, yells into the camera a lot, freaks out. He's got a music video which is fucking awesome. What's it called?
Is he still in Georgia? Did he move places? I don't even know.
As far as I know, he's still in Georgia.
I could collab with Copper Cab. That'd be fun.
You should have babies with him.
No, ew.
The ultimate collaboration.
What is wrong with you? Monkey.
What? I'm trying to help you out.
No.
Sorry, Copper Cab. I tried to set you up. She's cock blocking. I just learned the raccoon sex position. You punch her in both eyes and then push it into the bins.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I don't know where to go after that. SDA tier stream, what are we doing now?
I guess we can just take questions from chat. It's got 30 minutes left.
I could read the blackest characters in Star Wars blog.
No.
Again. No.
Bad scribe. Just beat me instead. It's fine. You don't have to do that.
Carrot and stick. I introduce you.
Let's see. Flair Fritz says, but the real question is, do gingers have souls? Of course they do, but they're not their own. They trap them.
No, of course gingers have souls. They have feet, don't they? But bum.
Perennial Pat says, just ask him where's Claire? Claire is his transsexual alter ego.
Lucky7 said dark ginger and no.
Oh, two gingers come together.
No, monkey, no.
Dark ginger.
It would make dark head.
Oh God. Dark head.
Yeah.
Dark head.
Is that like when you have like a stranger that you can't see giving you a blowjob?
No, just can we not?
I got a little dark head last night, you know?
Yeah. Who's the pin dick not allowed to talk at the end of Monkey's videos? That's a dude named Masta Media, or the original one was.
Who's the what?
The guy at the end of my video. Oh, so now I can't talk because I don't have a big enough penis, guys. He's a guy who freaked out because I made a dick joke, and that was funny. So I've just kept it forever.
Dark ginger, isn't that like super double evil? I don't know. Scribe came up with the name for me. Am I super double evil, Scribe?
Well, that's your like superhero name, Dark Ginger, the sullen seductress.
Doesn't answer.
Kira asks,
I guess you could be sort of like a gray area like vigilante with that name.
Okay. I'm gonna take
Copper Cap could be your nemesis who you fall in love with and have little copper babies.
Monkey, knock it off.
Copper
I will
babies.
kick you.
Copper babies.
Copper babies. Babies who become coppers.
Kara is taking her driver's test on Friday and wants to know if we have advice. Yes.
Don't run over the phones.
Close your eyes while you're driving. They love when you do that.
Mhm.
Oh, and make sure that you frequently take your hands off the wheel.
Turn the radio up real loud. Just if you've practiced, don't get nervous. Do what you know, what you've been practicing.
Yeah, and breathe.
Thank you,
Skeptic Simba says, replace vegan gain steroids, vitamins with ricin.
Yeah.
Still in a very
Oh,
small
God.
dose.
Well, no, we don't want
kill
to kill him. We just want to turn him into a tranny. It's different.
Don't turn us into accessories here.
Yeah, no. I do not condone killing vegan gains. Just turning him into a tranny. That'd be funny.
You give him a few more years, and that anger of his will give him a stroke. So,
But monkey, vegans can't have stroke.
yeah, sure. Sean Lee, if I do this debate, I will ask that if vegans would eat
What are you
What?
doing?
lab-grown meat.
What do I do with what?
Stop it.
What? I'm just letting people know that exists. That's all.
No, it's not. You're
Or
torturing.
people need to know that the
No,
blackest Star Wars
no.
character list exists. And this is
Do
it's
it
the
on
greatest.
your own. Do it on your own stream.
Okay. I'm not doing it on your stream. I'm putting it into the chat, which will not be part of the stream.
Would you rather be locked in a room with a naked Alex Jones or a super horny Christy Winters?
Naked out. Ew.
I'd probably defer to Christy Winters.
You want to?
Yeah, I would take Christy
Why?
because I think I could fuck her sane.
Ew.
Oh God.
Gross.
It might take a few turns, but
Turns. Oh.
Neon asks, are you all in a Skype call or something? No, this is just on Google Hangouts. They're talking about the list now. The one that really got me was Chewbacca being black in Star Wars.
Yeah. Because
that was just dumb.
You take an I and an E out of there, what do you get? You get woke.
STA, what is the best and worst thing about being a writer?
I guess the worst part is, I don't know. I mean, the best part is that it's a fuck ton of fun. And I can do things like make an evil lesbian that's named after Angela Merkel. And that's entertaining for me anyway. I guess like the worst part is maybe, I don't know. Like when you're writing, I don't know, like the really, really dark parts, that actually kind of ruins my day, to be honest. It takes a lot out of me, emotionally, I guess. I don't really deal with writer's block because I use outlines. So I kind of always know what to write. But, yeah.
Sanguine says regarding the whole Christy Winters thing, so Monkey has no respect for his own dick. Standards, man, standards. It's not that I have no respect. It's that I have that much respect. I think I could fix her.
Keep telling yourself that, Monkey.
I could. She'd come out of there and immediately go make me a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
Whatever I wanted, damn it.
Well, okay, but like what kind of sandwich would you want?
Well, I don't know. It depends on my mood.
You're going to school to be a writer? That's about as useful as a liberal arts degree. No, I'm going to school for political science.
That would be a liberal arts degree.
Which it is. So, yay.
What are your thoughts on the Wonder Woman film? I
haven't seen it.
From what I've seen, and this is going just by the trailer, I'm not really interested in it. It looks like a cheap knockoff of Captain America, only with blander colors and a woman with the worst accent I've ever heard.
And also drilling into our heads that she is a woman doing action stuff.
Yeah, she's doing things and she's a female. One thing that's been bothering me about the DC movies is just how washed out all the colors are.
Well, that's because they thought that the thing that sold the movies for the Batman trilogy with Christopher Nolan was a gray filter over everything.
Yes.
And it's so it looks just like a bunch of, I don't know, it looks like they just smacked mud on the screen. And, I don't know.
Well,
I'm
part of
convinced,
sorry.
I'm not convinced she's a woman. As far as I know, they don't show vag in that film, so I'm
One of the
remain
things
skeptical.
that one of the reasons that DC did that apparently is specifically to distinguish their movies visually from the otherwise colorful Marvel films. They wanted to have a specific brand. Not only did they want a visual continuity between the Nolan trilogy, which was so relatively successful as compared to the recent ones, and to make things look grittier, quote unquote, and more realistic, but also because they didn't want to be looking as though they were copying Marvel, which is like we were talking about shooting yourself in the foot and then shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh no, if we use color, then we're copying Marvel and every other movie that uses. Okay. Also,
yeah,
thank you,
bright
Mash.
colors in a superhero movie? What?
Thank you, Mash. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Somebody asked why I'm not in STEM. I actually got halfway through finishing a math major, and I decided that I liked talking about politics and I liked writing better, so I switched.
Oh, speaking of Jim Jones, SD, I don't know if you saw it, but there's a series, I'm going to check it out soon on Netflix called Occult Crimes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I wonder what that's all about. So I'm gonna check that out soon. We'll
Okay,
take a look.
I'm gonna watch it, and if it's worth talking about, we should talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it out already?
Yes, I saw it on the list. I didn't have a chance to look at it yet. I
Ooh.
don't even know if it's any good, but I saw that and I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
Ooh.
I love cult stuff anyway. Why not just make it I don't know why you wouldn't. I think
Sepia.
I don't know. Because it's like they're allergic to color, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So somebody brought up who brought up Jessica Jones. John McNair brought up Jessica Jones and says Jessica Jones showers in male tears. I'm wondering if this is just like big budget Jessica Jones in a leotard.
Well, the scenes I've seen so far seem to suggest that at every possible opportunity, the idea is to be like, oh, look, a woman is fighting the bad guys, and oh, look, a man is surprised that she can do these things and would do these things, and that the man is the damsel in distress, and it's just, ooh, look at the gender swapping. And it's like, okay, I can admit, if you see a woman in 15 or whatever, whenever this takes place, World War I believe it is.
Right.
So it's like 1915, 1916, and a woman in, a conservative dress is beating up a bunch of guys and everything else. Yes, there is a, oh my gosh factor to that. I don't know if you need to point it out every scene that it happens, that it seems to be. But the thing is that they were. I've read that the sequel they're thinking of might also be a flashback movie to the past, like we jump ahead to the 20s or something. And I'm just wondering, are they thinking they have to keep it in the past because the fact that a woman is a fighter isn't as novel an idea 100 years ago versus like today, where you have Ronda Rousey and all these other MMA stars taking on people in the modern day, and it's not as uncommon? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe there's like a specific vibe that they're going for with the war stuff or something.
Well, they were so I think part of the reason for this movie is, one, they set up that she was involved in World War I with a photograph that was a minor plot point in Batman v Superman. And so they have to sort of explain her origins. And so her origin story they've set back in World War I to show she's an immortal demigod. And this makes her, the metahuman child of Zeus, etc. I don't see the utility of doing it again as a flashback movie, especially if you're going to do Justice League. Why wouldn't you want to split off into telling stories in the modern day of these guys?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but it looks like Captain America. If you didn't tell me that it was World War I, because I'm not a history buff. What?
You okay?
Oh my
Monkey?
God.
What?
I'm watching Copper Cab's new video.
While we're doing a
Oh,
stream.
really? I can see that
I
you're
was
very
listening to,
Okay, I'm boring. I can't even
No.
keep monkey. No, it's fine.
monkey. Look what you did.
no,
I'll
no.
just-
I was listening to you guys. You were talking about World War One. Keep going.
No, it's okay. I'll just be over here.
You
go
know, I
watch
should have
it.
muted myself.
You go watch Copper Cab. It's fine.
Scribe, I was listening to you, and it's
I
fine.
know. No, it's. I just.
It was something that got talked about, and I went to look at it real quick. I apologize.
How is it? Tell us about it.
But I want to hear
There's
more
one party
stuff
standing-
about what Scribe was saying.
No. Copper Cab. What's
No.
up? with
There's
Copper
one
Cab?
part where
No,
he's
it's my
standing on top
stream,
of a car
damn it.
without his shirt on, dancing and doing hip. I couldn't help but laugh. I was still listening. I can multitask. Keep going.
All I was saying is what sentiments before. It's just that Wonder Woman, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I might have thought it was just a ripoff on the first Captain America movie, because short of being a historical buff that I could identify specific pieces of equipment, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a German soldier in World War I being kicked by somebody with a American stylized costume on than a German soldier having their ass kicked in World War II. So it just looked like Captain America female version.
Mm-hmm.
Peter asked how Jinx was and if he's learned any new tricks. He's good. He got a new harness today because his other one got too small. So we took him to the pet store, and he kind of lost his shit because he likes people a lot. I'm working on having him wave. But other than that, I'm just working on like the basic stuff, like leave it and stay. But he's doing good.
Do we know if there's an invisible jet in the Wonder Woman movie?
So far as I know, that has not been featured in any of the previews. I will look to see if there's any spoilers on that if we care. I'm just curious. I would be surprised if they did, because even that might be stretching the bounds of credulity just a little bit, because then you just see Wonder Woman flying through the air in a seated position. It's like, okay.
Well, it was always kind of silly to begin with, but
yes. Let's see. Survey says, oh, what? Seriously? Okay, I got an article that says, it asked the question, is Wonder Woman's invisible jet in the film after all? And they say that there's evidence that there is in the trailer. I don't see how they get that. Look out the window and what? It's a joke. Look out the window. Look in the sky. What do you see? It's the invisible jet. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I just really have no interest in Wonder Woman in general, but
Yeah,
nothing about that trailer made me wants to see it.
Yeah, DC heroes in general are far less interesting. What?
I dropped something.
Oh yeah, DC heroes in general are less interesting to me. I think I've probably said this before, because most of the core characters are effectively demigods. I mean, between Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, even Bruce Wayne to a certain extent is like, super rich and can do anything. Whereas most of the core Marvel characters were just regular Joe Schmoes who had something crazy happen to them. Whereas most of the DC heroes were just born that way, and it's just, there's nothing interesting about it. There's no struggle. They just sort of had those powers and whatever.
I was always, for me, it's not even the superheroes, it's the villains. When you have somebody that strong, you need something for them to go against.
Yes.
Most of the Marvel characters are matched with villains who are, it's the unbreakable effect. You got the superhero, so you have the
they're complementary between the hero and the villain.
Yeah, so that they make for great battles. And I mean, with Superman, they had to wait till Apocalypse before he had somebody good.
Well, I
Or
mean,
was it
you can,
Doomsday, whoever?
yeah, Doomsday. You can have complete opposites and have a good conflict, like the Hulk and the leader. Okay, the leader is not physically strong; he's just ridiculously intelligent versus the Hulk, who's ridiculously strong but not very intelligent. And so you can, if the two sides complement each other from the opposite ends, like Mr. Glass versus Unbreakable, then yeah, that makes sense. But you also set the limits of what you can do to make a villain a threat to a hero if they are invulnerable or immortal or whatever else. And so who can really challenge Wonder Woman on the battlefield in World War One? Nobody. Nobody. And so what do they have to do? Well, they have to insert a Greek god for her to fight in Ares to make it even an even battle. And I believe it's not even Ares. I think he picks like an avatar on the battlefield or something to be his proxy in the war or something. And then she has to fight this, enhanced person kind of thing. So it's, yeah.
I'm hearing SDA's boobs.
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
the cleavage echo.
It's okay.
That fixed it.
Testing. Yeah. And speaking of Unbreakable, there's another movie coming, which I'm kind of excited about because if it's any good, it does have Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Glass again. So
The first one was so good.
yes, it was. It was excellent.
That's the only movie of his I really like.
I do like Sixth Sense. I mean, even with the twist and everything, Sixth Sense was okay. Unbreakable's awesome. The only weakness to Unbreakable for me, honestly, is Adam, thank you. So is there a specific penguin that SDA likes? Well,
Like
hopefully,
really cute and fluffy kind.
I was going to say, hopefully Burgess Meredith.
She likes a pants penguin.
Yeah.
What have you guys been talking about?
What?
Anyway, just to follow real quickly, the only weakness I saw with Unbreakable was that very end title card where it says like sort of like the Dragnet ending. It's like Mr. Glass was taken off to the criminally insane asylum and whatever. It's just like probably could have found a better way to sort of wrap that up. That just seemed a bit sudden and out of place.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And I just noticed that Happy Feet was on Netflix.
Oh God.
But
Yeah, it's been on there for a
God,
while.
me, it's a movie about penguins.
Penguins! Did you ever see March of the Penguins with Morgan Freeman?
I did.
Yeah, what'd you think
Saw
of
it in theaters. Thank you, Adam, by the way. I didn't say that.
that? I did for you.
She liked it so much she married that movie.
I didn't marry that movie.
Did you have sex with that movie?
No.
In your
didn't.
mind?
No.
Oh. The real question, will there be a column of light shooting into the sky in Wonder Woman? I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a common trope.
Oh, yes. The big energy burst into the heavens kind of thing.
Yes.
It's entirely possible because it seems to happen in every superhero movie that DC does, short of a Batman movie, seemingly. Even in Suicide Squad, they had that, for God's sake. So
They do it in everything.
yeah.
And it was cool the first time I saw it. And now it's like, oh, look, a Wonder Woman trailer. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They should have just shot it in black and white. Let's be honest. It is so boring.
Well, I mean, if it was like somebody earlier said sepia, I could imagine where you sort of look. It's not completely sepia toned, but if you had it colorful, but with like a sepia filter over it, where it's still bright and a superhero movie, but you accentuate the fact that this is taking place in the past with a little bit of that could work. But you look at the trailers and it's like you're looking at a gravel pit the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just they were like, how many shades of gray can we pack into this movie?
Yeah. And the only bright spots, of course, are on the mythical island that she comes from. And then it's sort of like the reverse of the Wizard of Oz, where you start out black and white or sepia, and then you go into color once you reach Oz. In this one, the Miss Hysteria, or whatever the hell the island's name is, it's all bright greens and blues and everything. And then, of course, you get to America, and now it's all grays and dark. And
SDA, did you like Club Penguin?
I never played it.
Guys, if you ask questions, make sure you put a question mark on the end so we know it's a question.
Yeah, it's a difference between shit posting and actually asking us something. Let's see. Scribe who better, Alan Moore or Frank Miller? Alan Moore by leaps and bounds, just because his stuff has remained quality, and Frank Miller has progressively gone more and more insane and weak in his writing. Especially when you get to the point where it's like, I'm the goddamn Batman. It's like when that's the kind of dialogue that Frank Miller writes for Batman. It's funny, but it's also completely out of character. So,
Emperor Vulcan asks, favorite period in history to learn about? For me, I really like American wars, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War.
mhm.
I once you get older than that, I don't much care.
I had a real thing for so there's this old sort of propaganda / documentary series from way back in the day called Victory at Sea, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always it's sort of these documentarian / newsreel type deals that tell about the different events that happened, like at Guadalcanal and all that kind of stuff during the Pacific War, or Pacific part of the World War II. And thanks to the World War II channel, I mean the History Channel, I do have kind of a fondness, I guess you could say, for World War II stuff in general.
World War II was really interesting. Just the buildup, how it all. I could spend just days watching stuff about it.
See, I don't know, maybe it's because in school, living in the South, we dwelled on American wars so much, especially the Civil War, that I don't know, it doesn't do much for me. I really like the farther back you go in history, like the
Guys,
better. And I love folklore and stuff like that.
I have
Monkey,
the
what?
little one tonight. I have to go get her. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Bye, Monkey.
Bye, Monkey.
Oh, we got trumped by the Grand Monkey.
No, that was sudden.
Yeah, she was on yesterday before the stream. She was all
Yeah,
yapping
it
and
was
stuff.
so cute.
Apparently, she was asking for me, and I
She
missed
was.
it
It was
because
really cute. She was I guess there's like a box or something somewhere, and
I
she
think
kept,
Monkey keeps his microphone in a box to block out the sound.
yeah, and she was like digging around in the box trying to find you. It was cute. It was
Where's
really
Scribe?
cute.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was so cute.
She thought I was in the box. Oh, I missed this. And God, I keep telling Monkey at some point, somehow he's got to get her recorded in some way, saying something Scribe-lite or whatever, and I will insert that into the closing bit of my videos from now until the end of time. I just did that when she says "you monkey" at the beginning of his videos. I just get all happy inside.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go till 11? You still good with that?
Whichever, it's fine.
Okay.
So tomorrow I'm going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and SDA has requested that after I've seen this movie, which I should have seen earlier, but circumstances came up, that we will do a like maybe a quick stream on her channel about it, a la Iron Fist or something, but hopefully not as bad as Iron Fist.
No,
so
it's good. So
let's see. Any other questions from the stream? SDA, have you ever seen The Pebble and the Penguin?
nope.
Adam R, you haven't seen it yet? No, I haven't. There was a time where I'd rush out to see every Marvel movie opening day, and that has started to drop off. I cannot say I'm not subject to a little bit of oversaturation in the comic book movies, but I will get around to them eventually, especially the big ones like, the Avengers movies, or I did go see Doctor Strange like opening day because I'm a big Doctor Strange fan. So
What did you think about the Doctor Strange movie?
I thought they did a relatively good job getting my biggest concern was, were they going to get the origin right? Because Doctor Strange's origin, I think, is one of the best origin stories for any superhero ever, because it doesn't start out as a cliche superhero movie. The guy starts out as a complete arrogant jerk and has to learn humility. He seeks help for an injury that has nothing to do with helping other people, but has everything to do with regaining his career and status and money and everything.
Yeah.
And then he learns to become a hero. Now, they did the origin correctly. They didn't do the character quite correctly because the character was far too fun. He was far too lighthearted in screwing around with the magic and stuff. It also had a very big problem in showing all of the magic stuff in the first 5 minutes before we even meet Doctor Strange. They should have not done that. Secondly, they had a really big problem in showing the passage of time for his training, because it seems as though he goes to this place and within a week is suddenly like super duper expert student in the magic arts.
I took it as it was at the very least, months.
Well, they didn't do anything to show that aside from him trimming his beard, which doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
And there was also some confusion about where in the continuity this all took place, because at the very beginning of the movie, when he's riding off just before he gets into his accident, one of his assistants calls and says, yeah, we have a case of a military person with a broken back. And some people thought that to mean, oh, then this must take place right after Civil War, because they're talking about Rhodey, who fell and hurt his back. But I assumed they had to be talking about in Iron Man 2, where they show footage of a competing company, Hammer Industries or whatever, trying to do an Iron Man suit that ended up twisting a soldier's back in half. So I thought, it's got to be there. Yeah, because because Stephen Strange was mentioned in Captain America Winter Soldier, which, yeah, so the whole continuity thing was really confusing. Passage of time was very confusing. The ending, however, how he beat the bad guy, or the big bad guy, was perfect.
I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, that was the most original and very Doctor Strange thing that they did, and especially the sense that he didn't kill the bad guy. I mean, the bad guy they were having running around was pointless. He didn't do anything. He wasn't interesting. But the final confrontation was totally and completely Doctor Strange. Mind over matter. So that was good. So overall, I'd give it sort of like a B plus, I guess.
I thought it was entertaining. It made me dizzy.
Stop smoking.
I'm not smoking.
Oh yeah, if you get motion sickness, do not watch Doctor Strange, or at least close your eyes during the.
Well, no, I figured that out in the theater because I get motion sick really easily, and I was like, okay, I can't. I'm like, this is really pretty, but I'm gonna puke.
Let's see. Neon asks, Scribelight, how can you come back from twisting your back 180 degrees? Comic book.
Right. Yeah. Get Doctor Strange to do it before your crash.
No More BS says they confirmed it was during Iron Man 2. Good, because that makes a lot more sense. However, they didn't do enough to establish that, and they didn't do enough to show the passage of time of his training. Those, aside from the showing off.
How long is his training supposed to take?
Well, so he goes from an apprentice to all the other stuff. In the comic books, it takes at least months and months and months of study and training and stuff. He's kind of rushed into it at some points because of certain circumstances, but he doesn't become sort of master of the house for years.
Okay.
And
I didn't take it as years. I took it as months.
The Ancient One doesn't die in the comic books for a quite a long time before Doctor Strange becomes Sorcerer Supreme. He's just Doctor Strange for a while. He becomes Sorcerer Supreme way too fast in one movie. I would have liked them to stretch it out, but I guess whatever.
Yeah. Well, we've got 2 minutes left, so if you have anything else you want to ask, go ahead and ask it. There's an animated version of Doctor Strange?
Yes, the animated version of Doctor Strange isn't bad. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, I've got nothing clever to say.
Well, thank you anyway.
Scribe, who would win in a fight, Doctor Strange or John Constantine? Ooh, well, God, I really like Constantine as a character, even if he is DC, because standalone, I like the occult stuff. I like sort of the gothic characters and things. Constantine's really cool when done right. In a battle between them, I think Doctor Strange would probably have the edge, because so long as the Vishanti are being nice to him, he can call upon like all the gods of the Vishanti, and Constantine's got all his demonic stuff, but I think Sorcerer Supreme probably defeats chain smoking occult detective.
I've been asked how I feel about the Captain Marvel movie. I don't know enough about her as a character.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to handle her. There's various incarnations of
I
Captain
don't know
Marvel.
if this is a dumb question, but is she like basically their Wonder Woman, or?
No, she is. Well, Captain Marvel is a title that's been held by both male and female characters.
Okay.
In the iteration they're going with here, it's going to be the female version, and she's not Wonder Woman. She's more like she's in the comic books. Her powers come from intergalactic stuff. To be very simplistic about it.
Okay.
So she's more of an intergalactic guardian kind of thing. I'm trying to think if there's a comparable character in. I guess probably you'd. No, let's see. I guess Nova is more the Green Lantern. She's kind of a Green Lantern-ish figure. I'm not going to go so far as to say she's a clone of Green Lantern, but it's kind of like that.
Okay.
And we're at the top of the hour.
Yeah. So, chat, thank you so much for coming. Scribe, thank you as always for joining me. And thank you, Monkey, even though he's not here. Tomorrow night we will be on Monkey's channel, correct?
No, my channel.
Your channel?
We were on Monkey's channel last night.
Okay. We'll be on Scribe's channel. Sorry.
Okay.
At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when we always go live, and I hope we see you guys there. Night, guys.
Bye, guys.